So final leg session before the show, 9 days time. Although cardio's been out since before the weekend, I always like to jump on here 15 minutes or so, especially for legs, just get some blood moving, get the joints warmed up, older body and all that. So yeah, just 15 minutes, really low resistance, just to get everything moving, and it kind of helps my head get in the right space for training. It's going to be pretty light session today. Legs have been really quite fatigued over the last however many months. Dropped my step count down from 18k on Monday down to sort of 8 to 10k. Last trained legs, did a little bit of quad work. Majority of my legs were still really fatigued from my leg session last Thursday. So yeah, it's just a case of just a little bit of stimulation today. Had a slightly different pre-workout. Normally it's rice cakes, honey, salt, but we're trialling Ritz crackers for peaking for the show. So 30 grams of that with 15 grams of honey and 10 grams of dark chocolate, some rice pudding and some protein. So it'll be interesting to see how that fares pump-wise as we get through this. Trying to decide what to start off with, probably the hip press, I think, get things moving. I have to be quite careful with my leg days. I've got bad back, both knees have torn meniscuses at some point in the past. So even though this is like a flushy leg session, it's, apart from the load, the sort of tempo and style of it is pretty similar to how I normally train legs anyway. Control, slow, using tempo. I'm not one of these ones that's going to be whacking a shit ton of weight on, because I'll just break myself. So it's about using tempo and connection with the muscle to elicit growth rather than the load as such. It's the one session that I have to really be careful with. Some days I can do some things, some days it's just a no. It just depends on how the body is feeling. Today it's about more just getting blood into the muscle rather than breaking the muscle down. So where I would be pushing to failure, I might be doing some rest pause sets, pushing the load. Today it's just about moving something and holding back from those sort of last few reps of failure, which is, yeah, it's quite hard to do. It kind of feels like I'm sandbagging it, but ultimately if I put my legs in the ground today, I'm not going to be able to pose, so I'm not going to be able to practice my posing, I'm not going to practice my routine. It's yeah, it's kind of quite a difficult shift these last couple of weeks before shows, because I'm generally walking the dogs, don't stop moving, and it's now actually you just got to sit and chill out, and that's the bit that yeah, I sort of struggle with a little bit more. It's really hard holding back and not taking it steady, especially when you've got that in the corner. Last rep, I could tell I wasn't going to get the whole thing, so it's just calling it there rather than trying to push for that last rep. It was just a partial. I can't even push for that. Trying to get that last rep out.
It's not intense. It can't be. There's a reason why we've backed off cardio so early, stepped so early. Her legs are, I don't know if it gets demonetised for YouTube, I don't think Riz really care. And we need a final touch up, so we decided today, Thursday being a good day, it's more than 7 days rest before the show. I think it's 10. So today the instructions are, is be mild as possible, don't do any exercises that have high risk. So I think she's already done hip press, which she's really comfortable and familiar with. Not her usual loads, just going through the motion, putting some blood through the quads. Then lying ham, again, safe for her. Do leg extension, she's used to. And then probably finish up quad work on the leg press there. Then finish up on adductors, but when you're this close to a show, guys, like, you're not building muscle.
No.
You can't, like, this is all about just stimulation, and it's more of just like a checkpoint that you're close enough to the show that you can leave the legs alone, but you're also far away enough that it gives them time to rest. And this is totally athlete person dependent. For her, in the situation where she's in, more condition will come through as fatigue comes off. So that's why we're training them today, but we're also not going OTT, just to prolong that little bit of rest that's required, especially pre-flight, where you're sitting in a seat, you might be on a runway for, remember Atlanta?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you might be on a runway for a while because delayed flights and you start cramping up. So especially wouldn't have her train their legs 7 days before the show on the Sunday if we're flying out on the Monday. Because we know what happens with athletes when they're cramping. If we are hot on a runway, you can tear something, like I found out a few weeks ago. This is all about being careful. But don't take today's training. Yes, she has to be safe for leg training anyway, but don't take today's training like how she usually trains at all. This is absolutely minimal by instructions, forced by myself. So this is reality. It's reality. Yeah. You wanted to see what it's like at 10 days out as an IFBB pro. Sometimes this is what it's like, especially for an older body. She's turning 40 this year. This is us just responding to the athlete. There are no musts. You couldn't be married to anyone which way. This is what is required for her.
Last night, I felt like I was coming down with something, but I tend to get that when I'm tired and run down, like if I haven't slept properly anyway. Throat does feel a bit scratchy today, but I think it's more like a hay fevery type thing. Because yeah, I was training in a public gym as well, more than here, until probably about 6 weeks out. And it was just like getting interrupted too much with the flow of the session and that sort of thing. So came to kind of recluse myself back here. So that helps. But I try not to worry too much about it because you could just get a little bit obsessive with it. Trying to get as much sleep as possible, but that's not. My sleep's shit in off season, let alone when I'm in prep. This prep's, it's not been as bad as some. Like the Olympia prep in 2023 was the worst. I was awake from like 1 a.m. every night from about 8 weeks out. Whereas this prep I'll sort of toss and turn from about 1 a.m. Managed to sleep to 20 to 5 this morning, but it was like literally wake up, look at watch, try and go back to sleep. 15 minutes has passed, wake up, look at the watch, 20 minutes has passed, and that was that from like 1 a.m. So I was crossfitting for about 12 years in total. I only stopped because of lockdown basically. So I was bodybuilding and crossfitting for quite a while, but I was working at Bournemouth ambulance station and had a mate round for dinner. Steak, chips, avocado, that sort of thing. And I severed a nerve in between the webbing of my fingers, trying to get stone out the avocado. So I did that. Had to have 6 to 8 weeks off work, surgery, nerve repair. Couldn't really CrossFit. There's only so much you can do when you're off sick. Yeah, one of the PTs at the gym I was training at, she was like, why don't you try bodybuilding? So literally, my hand's all taped up post-surgery and I'm in there trying to train, started prep. 12 weeks later, stepped on stage and that was, yeah, didn't have a clue what I was doing. And that was the start of bodybuilding for me. So that was the last leg session. Posing, feeling a little bit rickety after even that little light stimulation of the legs. Next session is chest, which should be cool. That'll be Saturday. The split's a bit all over the place because we've moved rest days around. So when flying on Monday, so Monday would normally be a training day, but it's now going to be a rest day. So normally Saturdays are a rest day. So training chest. I might go down to the public gym. So there's a few bits of kit there that I like. But then again, I might just stay here, be a recluse. So yeah, it's chest Saturday, arms Sunday, rest, and then it will just be kind of upper pump work. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, into the show Saturday. The show's Sunday, so Saturday would be a rest day. Got registration Saturday evening. Normally it's the registration's the night before, but they tan you on the same day at EMPRO as well, which is quite nice. So I'm not going to worry about messing up the Airbnb tan too much. So yeah, that was my last leg session in an attempt at trying to pose my legs after a leg session, which is always fun.